It's our good afternoon song. So, we'll start. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Are you ready for some fun? Stand up and turn around and sit back down. Give a great big clap. Put your hands in your lap and you're ready for a new lesson. All right. Hey, Ryan, or Power Ranger is with us. Okay. Today, we are going to start talking about a certain kind of tree. But before we do that, I want you to look back here at this picture. Who is this in our picture? Who is that? Let's see. Carolyn, who's this?
Johnny Appleseed.
Johnny Appleseed. Who can share, very good, Carolyn, some information that we learned about Johnny Appleseed? What did we learn about Johnny Appleseed? Alan, meet your mic. Meet your mic, Alan. Anya, what did we learn about Johnny Appleseed? Hold on, I gotta mute his mic. Okay, Anya, go ahead and unmute. What did we learn about Johnny Appleseed?
That he was a hero because he planted seeds everywhere.
Yes, he went all across the United States from New York to Pennsylvania to Ohio to Indiana, and he planted apple seeds everywhere. And that was good because apples provide fruit for people to eat. Was this a fiction story? What kind of story was this? Who remembers? What type of story? Estelle? Ooh.
Here's the way I can describe it. Johnny Appleseed is real, and he planted seeds, and I think that's real, but some of it is fiction.
Very good. It's called a tall tale. Wait, Elliot, you can bring that back. Elliot, get your apple back. Very good. It is a tall tale, which means some of it's real and some of it's not. So the real thing he did, Elliot, I'm going to spotlight you. Elliot's got, it looks like a type of apple. I'm going to spotlight him so you can see. Elliot's holding a red apple. This is a sweeter apple, and it's similar to the apples that Johnny Appleseed planted. Awesome job, Elliot. You can move it to the side. Thank you for sharing. And just like Estelle said, Johnny Appleseed, he really did go around planting apple orchards, but sometimes we see him drawn with a pot on his head and barefoot, and they said he would walk, I don't know, 20 miles in the snow barefoot. You really wouldn't be able to do that. So there are some things that are exaggerated, but some things that are true. Excellent. Okay. Today, we're going to continue to talk about trees, only we're not going to talk about apple trees. Here are the type of trees that we're going to talk about. This word is deciduous. Deciduous. We are going to talk about deciduous trees. What do you notice about these 4 trees? Look behind me. Look at these trees. Don't forget to pin me to make me big. What do you notice about these trees? Pikachu? What do you notice about the trees?
These are the 4 seasons of the tree.
Oh, Pikachu said that these are the 4 different seasons of the trees. This is an example of an apple tree in the spring, where it has blossoms, in the fall, where it's ripe with apples, in the summer, where it's ripe with apples, in the fall, where the leaves are turning, and in the winter, where they've changed. A deciduous tree is a tree that changes over time. It changes over time. Deciduous means change. Say deciduous. Say change. Deciduous. Say deciduous. Say change. Anya?
Right now it's in the fall season because it's coming to winter.
Very good. So this is what the apple tree would look like right now. Very good. All right. Another word we're going to discuss is this word, habitat. Habitat. The habitat is the place where the plant or tree lives or is from. It's where an animal or plant lives that has food, water, air, and shelter. So a habitat is the place where the tree is from. All right, let's take a look at our picture. Describe what you see in the picture. This is a picture of a forest. Forests are made up of many trees and other plants. Describe the tree in the picture. What can you tell me about the tree in the picture? Elliot, what can you tell me about these trees?
They have snow on them.
They do, they have snow on them. So what season do you think it is? Winter, summer, spring, or fall? Smearty?
Winter.
Winter. How are these trees different from one another? For example, look at this tree right here and look at this tree right here. How are they different? Carolyn?
Some of the trees have long.
They have long branches, and these have shorter branches.
Yes.
Very good. This tree, it's hard to tell with the snow on it. It's green. It's still green. This tree, I would use the word bare, which means empty. It has no leaves, just branches. Okay. There are two types of trees in this picture, deciduous and evergreen. This is an evergreen tree. It stays forever green all year round. A deciduous tree changes. Deciduous trees do not keep their leaves in the winter. Deciduous means that trees lose or shed their leaves in the fall and grow them again in the spring. The main topic or the main idea of today's lesson is deciduous trees. That's what it's mainly about. So is it mainly going to be about the evergreen tree? No. Our lesson is mainly going to be about deciduous trees that change. Anya, what's your question?
Why do we have seasons?
Well, because the weather is constantly changing. Now, not all places have seasons. It depends on where you're located in the world. If you live in Florida or South America, it's usually warm all year round. However, where we live, we experience all the different changing seasons and changing type of weather in the year. All right, listen carefully to find out what happens to the deciduous tree throughout the year. There are many, let me go back to that picture. There are many different kinds of plants in the world. Although each is unique and special in its own way, most plants found on land are either deciduous or evergreen. Remember, a deciduous plant is one that loses its leaves. An evergreen plant is one that does not lose its leaf. It's forever green. This is a picture of an apple tree in the winter. An apple tree sheds or loses its leaves every year. So it is a deciduous tree. Here the word shed means to lose. The word shed can also have other meanings. Sheds can be a small building used to store tools or a lawnmower. Your dad's may have a shed. But here shed means to lose its leaves. Deciduous is a tricky word to say because it has 4 parts. Let's say it together. I'm going to say the 4 parts. Say it. Deciduous. Deciduous. It has 4 parts for the 4 seasons. Seasons happen in a cycle or in a circle over and over again. Spring, summer, fall, and winter. Almost like the life cycle of a plant, seasons have a cycle too that go in a circle. Let's start with spring to learn more about the seasons and when new things start to grow. In the spring, an apple tree produces new leaves and apple blossoms or flowers appear. Remember Polly the honeybee? This is the time of year when she starts taking nectar from the inside of flowers. When she flies from flower to flower, she helps spread the pollen that's going to help the apples grow. What do we call that? That's called what? Raise your hand. What do we call that where you visit flower to flower, spreading the pollen? That's called, Ryan?
Pollination.
Pollination. Very good. In the summer, the apple tree grows many more green leaves. Apples begin to grow out of the blossoms. In the fall, the apples of the apple tree are fully grown and ready to pick. The leaves on the apple tree start to change to red and yellow. Then they fall off onto the ground. Over time, the leaves on the ground will break down into the tiny pieces that become nutrients in the soil. Who remembers what nutrients are? Nutrients are like what? Estelle?
Food for the plant.
Yeah, it's like vitamins. Vitamins for your body or vitamins for the plant. Very good. Here is an apple tree again in winter. Remember, the seasons repeat in a cycle or a circle over and over again. Every year, this apple tree has bare branches again. Remember, bare means there's nothing on it. Not like a bear that wanders around in the woods, a brown bear or a black bear. It means bare, empty. That is because plants do not get as much sunlight during the winter as they do in the summer and springtime. Remember, plants need 4 things to live and survive. Food, air, water, and sunlight. If they don't get enough sunlight, they don't give enough food to make photosynthesis. So the leaves die and fall off. With less light from the sun, the leaves cannot make food through photosynthesis. Because the apple tree cannot make food during the winter, it must conserve or save its energy. It does this by becoming dormant. To become dormant means to be asleep or not active. Watch me. Am I dormant right now? Thumbs up if I'm dormant, thumbs down if I'm not. How am I right now? I'm dormant, right. You show me dormant. Show me dormant. Show me dormant. Oh, everyone's dormant. Very good. Excellent. Okay, not dormant. Awake. Alive, alert, awake. All right, very good. When apple trees grow dormant, it stops making leaves, blossom, and apples. Its branches become bare. This image shows an apple tree in all 4 seasons. Remember, the apple tree is a deciduous tree because it loses its leaf every year. In the springtime, an apple tree is nice to look at with its white blossoms. In the summer, you can climb its branches and sit under the shade of its large green leaves and admire the apples as they grow out of the blossoms. In the fall, you can pick the apple tree's fruit and watch its leaves change color before falling off. In the winter, you can play in the snow under its bare branches. Although trees are special to us in many ways, it's important to remember that trees are also very important in nature. Trees, more than any other plant, help keep the air clean and safe to breathe, which you will learn about later. They also provide food and homes for countless animals. So next time you see a deciduous tree, wrap your arms around it and give it a big hug, just to show you understand how important it is. Estelle, do you have a question?
We did lose power yesterday, and then it came back the next day.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad it came back. Okay, what is the main topic or main idea of today's read aloud? What is our read aloud mainly about? Oh, I should see every hand go up. Elliot.
Tree.
Not just any tree. Can you tell me the type of tree, Elliot?
Deciduous.
Oh, Elliot said it. Deciduous trees. Remember, deciduous trees have 4 seasons. That's why it has 4 sounds. Deciduous. Deciduous. Okay. What are deciduous plants? What does it mean to be a deciduous tree? What does that mean? If I'm a deciduous tree, what's something that I do? Anya.
You change.
I change over time. Very good. Perfect. Okay. When do deciduous trees begin to lose their leaves? What season? What season do deciduous trees lose their leaves? Who can tell me? Ryan?
Fall.
In the fall. In the fall, they begin to change and lose their leaves. Very good. Why are deciduous plants bare in the winter? Why do deciduous trees have no leaves in the winter? Why is that? That's kind of a tough one. Russell?
Because the leaves cannot make food for the trees, so the trees get no leaves.
That's true. There isn't enough sunlight for the trees to make photosynthesis. So they begin to lose their food, which means they die and the leaves fall to the ground. The actual tree doesn't die, but the leaves do. The tree doesn't die, it goes to sleep. Do you remember the fancy Nancy word for when the tree goes to sleep? Who remembers that fancy Nancy word? Estelle?
Document.
Almost. Dormant. Dormant. That means you go to sleep for the winter. How can people enjoy apple trees? Well, that's okay. I won't ask that question because that's a long one. Okay, that is all we're going to talk about. Deciduous trees. When we come back Monday, we're going to talk about the other type of tree, the evergreen tree, which is very different. Remember, there's 2 types, deciduous and evergreen. Monday, we're going to learn more about evergreen. Well, I hope you all have a happy and safe Halloween, and I look forward to seeing you on Monday. Bye-bye. Thank you. Oh, you have an apple, Ryan? I like your apple.